TED Talk, 3 tips on how to study effectively. During their training, medical residents learn countless techniques, surgery, and procedures which they later use to save lives. Being able to remember these skills can quite literally be a matter of life and death. With its in mind, a 2006 research study took a class of surgical residents learning to suture artery and split them into 2 groups. Each received the same study materials, but one group implemented a small change in how they studied them. And when tested 1 month later, this group performed the surgery significantly better than the other residents. We'll discuss the secret to that group's success, along with 2 other highly effective study techniques which can be applied both in and out of the classroom. But to understand why these methods work, let's first unpack how the brain learns and stores information. Say you're trying to memorize the anatomy of the heart. When you introduce to a new concept, the memory is temporarily encoded in the group of neurons in a brain area called hippocampus. As you continue to learn about working of the heart in the class or study the chamber, why I can't see script? As you continue to learn about working of the heart in the class or study in chambers for exam, you reactivated these same neurons. This repeated firing strengthens the connection between the cells, stabilizing the memory. Gradually, the knowledge of heart anatomy is stored long-term, which involves another brain area known as neurocortex. How information is transformed from short-term to long-term storage is still not completely understood, but is thought to happen in between study sessions and perhaps most crucially during sleep. Here, the new knowledge is integrated with other related concepts you already know, such as how to measure heart rate or the anatomy of other organs. And the process doesn't end there. Each time you recall heart anatomy and reactivate the long-term memory, which makes it susceptible to change, the knowledge can be updated, strengthened, and reintegrated with other pieces of information. This is where our first study technique comes in. Tasking yourself with flashcards and quizzes forces you to actively retrieve knowledge, which updates and strengthens the memory. Students often prefer other study methods, like reading textbook and highlighting notes, but these practices can generate a false sense of competence since the information is right in front of you. Testing yourself, however, allows you more accurately gauge what you actually know. But what if, while doing this, you can't remember the answer? Not to worry, making mistakes can actually improve learning in the long term. It's theorized that as you rack your brain for the answer, you activate relevant piece of knowledge. Then, when the correct answer is later revealed, the brain can better integrate this information with what we already know. Our second technique builds the first. When using flashcards to study, it's best to mix the deck with multiple subjects. Interleaving or mixing the concept you focus on a single session can lead to better retention than practicing a single skill or a topic at a time. One hypothesis of why this works is that, similar to tasking, cycling through different subjects forces your brain to temporarily forget, then retrieve information. Further strengthens the memory. You may also find connection across the topics and better understand the differences. Now you know how and what to study. Our final technique concerns when spacing your review across multiple days allows to rest and sleep between sessions. While offline, the brain is actively at work, storing and integrating knowledge in the neural cortex. So while cramming the night for exam may seem logical, after all, when the material be fresh in your mind and information won't stick around for the long term. This brings us back to our medical residents. Both groups study the surgery for the same amount of time, yet one group training was crammed in a single day, while the other more successful group training was spread over 4 weeks. The reason all three of these study techniques work is because they are designed with the brain in mind. They complement it and reflect the incredible way the brain works, soaring through and storing the abundance of information. It's a fact day after day.